All these things are very important, means a mindset to be much more professional and avoid mistakes. Remember, driving too fast is a 3 million ditch fine.
Hello and welcome to this masterclass discussion on the changing nature of correspondent banking, brought to you by the Banker magazine from Deutsche Bank's offices in Frankfurt. My name is Michael Imeson and I'm a contributing editor of the Banker magazine. Here with me are Werner Steinmueller, who is head of global transaction banking at Deutsche Bank, and he's also a member of the Group Executive Committee, and Markus Sehr, who is head of institutional cash in global transaction banking at Deutsche Bank. Well, so far we've been mainly talking about compliance with existing regulations, but you just mentioned there SEPA. What I'd like to do is ask Markus about some of the new regulations that are coming on the scene. I mean things like SEPA, Basel III, especially the liquidity requirements, FATCA, the Foreign Account Tax Compliance Act coming from America. So Markus, which regulations, new regulations, do you think are posing the biggest threat to correspondent banking?
Which are posing the biggest threat? I would like to go back to what Werner said. There's a new set of regulations, and I think the biggest threat is the complexity. FATCA, liquidity reporting, Basel III with net stable funding ratio, which looks at the stable funding, or the liquidity coverage ratio, which looks at the fact how you can deal within a 30-day stress scenario. This has all to be seen in the context of how do you want to recalibrate your business model. And I think the biggest mistake is really to look at this in isolation. You have to take a look at all the regulations and ask the question to yourself, what does it mean to your business model? And what we see is that many banks, especially the local and the regional banks, will change and recalibrate their business model, and they will looking towards a partner which could provide a complementary set of products, and a partner who is committed to invest, and a partner who is reliable for the future.
And Werner, all of these new regulations, what's Deutsche Bank doing to comply with them and to mitigate the impacts? And also, again, as I mentioned earlier, it's not just a question of what you do to protect yourself from the regulatory challenge, but also your clients. So what is Deutsche Bank doing in that area?
One thing is pretty clear, investing into systems. But systems are good, but you have to change the culture. I think it starts with which client you are adopting, are going through a proper acceptance process, have enough due diligence done on the clients you are accepting, have a clear, defined target market. So this is really one of the beginning. Secondly is also, you have to change partially also the culture in banks. In the past, it was a bit the situation, you have a good opinion, legal opinion, it's fine, you can do it, and compliance is putting it, and later on you have problems with it. This is, bankers have to judge much more. Is it sustainable? And this is why we introduced our values and campaign. Integrity, really, is it worthwhile to do the transaction? Including a lot of payments. Is it very important to have it sustainable? Not on a short period of time, sustainable, client-centric versus client focus. The difference is focusing on the client to make as much money out of it. Client-centric is more make also money, but have an open relationship on a sustainable basis. It is a kind of discipline. If we say no, it is no, and don't look for exceptions. Specifically all in the payment side, a client is, oh, I have to make this special, isn't it possible, all these kind of, stick to it, a certain discipline, and partnership. Partnership means with the banks, but also internally work together. And I think this program we launched now for 3 years, it is very important to change the mindset of people. Additional, what we introduce is 3 lines of defense. In the past, it was a bit, we are the front office, we are the booking location, but operations was in charge. Now we are also for audit points in operation. It's my responsibility and the responsibility of my team, and we in Transaction Bank take the responsibility. The second line of defense is compliance, and the third line is audit. It's clear defined, it's trained, and also have a governance rule. It's pretty clear what is responsible of individual people, so clear in writing who is responsible for what. All these things are very important, means a mindset to be much more professional and avoid mistakes. Remember, driving too fast is a 3 million ditch fine.